Hello everyone, I am the Ranger, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do online CAS. What this video will be covering is a basic understanding of how to do the attack run-in phase of a online CAS call-in, as well as most of the basics of it. Things this video will not be covering is how to do keyhole CAS, setting up IPs and stuff like that, just generally because that's not used in most Arma groups, and because Arma doesn't currently offer anything really where be useful. Keyhole CAS is generally used when there's large air defense networks in the area, and not something like what we have here. The highest thing we got here is Tigris's. As scary as they are, they don't have as long as range as some of the other stuff. Now I am aware that there is a mod pack called Pook out there, which adds theater level defense systems. However, it is a little rough on the edges, and to my knowledge, not a lot of groups use it. So let's begin with what a 9-line CAS call-in is. Pretty much it is a easy way for a JTAC on the ground to be able to call in an aircraft that's loitering around to do attack run-ins. This gives the pilot 9 very informational lines that he can reference at quick points and things like that. So, if you just give me a second, we're going to get airborne here, gain a little bit of altitude. Alright, so going over the lines, or the 9 lines of a 9-line briefing. Lines 1 through 3 are dealing with the IP points, which we'll not be covering. As I said, they're generally associated with keyhole CAS and things of that nature, so we'll not be going on to that. So moving on to line 4. Line 4 is target elevation. This is generally given in meters. This is so you know how high the target is if it's on a mountain or in a valley. This is just so you don't slam into the mountain. Also, so if you're dropping, say for instance, guided munitions, they don't slam into a mountain that's in your way. So it's a reference point for you to know, so you can help plan out your attack run-in. Line 5 is target description. It's always nice to know what you're shooting at and what you're going to be using. So this is given by the JTAC on the ground. Example being infantry at crossroads or tanks out in the open, moving across the salt flats of Altus. See, I'll be superimposing this image into the screen of a 9-line CAS briefing. If I can't, I will be putting a link into the description. Either way, for a little nice handy document that's always good to reference. Next line will be line 6. This is your target location. This is generally given in a 6 to 8 digit grid. Pretty much how Arma does 6 digit grids on its own via right here. The problem with these is this is a 100 meter by 100 meter square, which is pretty big whenever you're trying to drop accurate munitions. So generally we tend to do it in 8-digit grids, which is you pretty much just draw imaginary lines in your head to split this up. So for instance, this would be 1375, 133, let's do 7, around there. So it's a bit of guesstimation on how it works, or on how you're supposed to dial it, but there is a couple mods out there that add land nav tools that your mission maker can place modules out on the map to allow you to have a little more accurate target location, or grid references, I should say. Line 7 is mark type. So this is generally with, depends on what your infantry guys have at the time. Sometimes it'll be no mark, meaning there's no mark. Mark types generally include a smoke, an IR laser pointer if you're doing a night mission, IR grenades, and things of that nature. So it's just a way of how to mark it. You can even be tracer fire if your guys are using specific color tracers and the enemy's using a different color. Target or mark type will be origin of green tracers, for instance. Next position or next line will be line 8, which is the position of friendlies. This is one you don't have to read this line back, but it's always a good idea to keep idea of where the enemies are or your friendlies are, so you don't accidentally drop bombs on them. They wouldn't like that. Line 9 is egress. This will be where the JTAC on the ground tells you to egress, or it could be up to your discretion. Just depends on what's in the area. For instance, if you're running down a valley that hooks to the left and there's a solid mountain on your right, the JTAC on the ground will say egress to the left, and so on and so forth. And the final thing will be marks and restrictions. This would be any other little tidbit of information that would be generally useful for you to know, like AA nests, weather effect, if there's any artillery inbound on the area, stuff like that. So the next thing that we need to do is cover an aircraft check-in. This will be whenever you contact the JTAC on the ground. An aircraft check-in pretty much just goes over, tells the JTAC on the ground what you have. This will consist of your call sign, flight number, or flight, how much time you have in the area. I generally just say unlimited time. This is just because you can go land anywhere in Arma land and refuel, and what your weapon systems. Now, quick note to say is you say by, not times, after weapon types. Don't exactly know why that is, but that's just a general practice from what I've observed. So we're going to go call on our JTAC right now. The guy is Ranger Dobby. As you can see, he's in my squad, just so simplicity's sake for this mission that we know where he is, just for setup purposes. Now, main missions, you probably won't be linked up in the exact same squad as the ground team, but as I said earlier, this is just a scenario. So let's give our JTAC a call. Grizzly 4-1, this is Ghost 1-1. I'll copy over. Solid copy. Say when ready for aircraft check-in. Aircraft check-in as follows. Full load of 20 Mike. 3 by Mark 82s, 3 by AGM 85 Mavericks, 2 by Paveway 2s, and 2 by 500-pound JDAMs. I'll copy over. Playtime unlimited, and Roger on board and clear. Send it. Part of that, stand by. Alright, so what just happened there, he just gave us a brief situation update on the stuff, and he did correct me on there. I forgot to state how much playtime I have, or how much time you have to be in the air around the target. So with that, it was a lot of information given to me at once, but pretty much what it is we're going to be blowing up some mortars that are attacking our guys that have a bit of armored support or escorts to help protect them. So what we're going to do is, for a 9-line call-in, the pilot only has to read back lines 4 and 6. That is the target elevation and target location. Alright, so we're going to contact our JTAC now and ask for our first 9-line. Grizzly 4-1, send 9-line alpha when ready. Line 4, 76 meters. Line 6, 1848 1094. How copy, over? Send it. Roger that. 1 by Maverick, northeast, southwest, or reciprocal. Alright, from this point, it's all up to us to get get all situated. So what that last bit is his attack run-in and what type of weapon system he wants employed onto the target. This is generally up to the JTAC's description, unless you are given a kill zone, which he will say engage anything in a certain grid. And at that point, it'll be up to the file discretion. But considering we're taking out Stalker, it's logical that we would use our Mavericks that we have loaded up on here. By the way, this is Sergeant Fuller's USAF mod F-16C, for those of you who are wondering. So let's reference our map and get set up for an attack run. And now it's a good idea to make sure that you're not going to fly over the target. You wouldn't want to be shot down or anything like that. So grid reference was 118.48, so that would be around here, and 109-4. So we're looking thereabouts around in here. So you can shift click, make yourself an easy mark, and we're coming in. So since we're already down here in the southwest, we're going to come in from there. This way you will be able, by reciprocal means, for instance, that means you can come in either way. But it's a good idea to let you have to let your JTAC know which direction you're inbound, not the direction you're traveling. So for this instance, you're inbound from the southwest. Inbound from the southwest. So he's giving us the continue. This means we can go ahead with our attack run-in. He will say abort if anything comes up, hence was that abort, request an abort and a clear at the very beginning. So we are searching for the BMT2 Stalker. Just keep cycling through. Alright, we got a lock here. Just going to get a little bit closer so we don't hit these windmills. And we're going to kick it up a notch, punching into Afterburner. And when we release this weapon system, we say rifle. Rifle. Rifle is the brevity code to let the JTAC on the ground know that the weapon system is away. And so it looks like he popped the smoke. Copy that, stand by. Alright, so we got good hits on that one. Mavericks are fire and forget. You don't have to keep the weapon locked on as you got it in. So we'll look back around and request 9-line Bravo. Grizzly 4-1, this is Ghost 1-1. Send 9-line Bravo when ready. Repeat line 6 for me, please. Roger that. Line 4, 76 meters. Line 6, 1852 1094. How copy over? Send it. Roger that. 2 by Mark 82s inbound from the northeast or the southwest, or northeast to southwest, or reciprocal. That's a little bit of fumbling, but pilots are only human. This stuff happens during ops, so not everything's 100% official. And if you did not catch what the JTAC was saying on the ground, like for me, headset cut out slightly. But we were able to, you can just ask the JTAC on the ground to give you another readback. So we're, luckily enough, we're already set back up, so let's adjust our little mark right here. He did say that we're attacking the mortars. Through the one just a blue 4 tracker, we can kind of just move it over slightly, but it was just a little bit over to the left. So let's state that we are inbound, making sure that we are not straight too far. Loop back in a little bit and then pull in. For bombs, dumb bombs at least, it's a good idea to come in at a 45-degree angle to drop the weapons. Inbound from the southwest. Okay. So these targets are directly beside that burning wreck that we have here, so you can use what bits of battlefield carnage that you have to provide a little bit of support on your bombing runs. Just because we know that this was relatively close to where we were, we're going to drop 2 right here. Coming in, pull out, make sure you don't get blasted by the explosion. And loop it on out. Roger that. So, an immediate re-attack means just do the exact same thing that we did. Let JTAC know which direction you are in. I did neglect to say pickle on those bomb drops just because that was a little close to the ground. Send them. Roger that. One by GB12, same attack heading. So, we've been changed to dropping a laser guided munition. These bombs function the same as the standard ones on the Arma A10. It just picks up a laser signal from the JTAC on the ground and you lock it up that way. I will note for those of you who are using ACE, if you are coming at the JTAC with the bomb, it can lock onto his position just because that's the laser origin. So you need to be wary of that. Always fly over your JTAC's shoulder just so you don't lock onto the laser's point of origin. Alright, then we're going to start turning back around here. And it's always a good idea to have just a little bit of altitude on this, just so the bomb does not impact the ground. As we saw on our previous attack run-ins, there was a little bit of mountains. So we're going to move over just a little bit more to the west so we can get a nice run-in through this valley. Most JTACs on the ground, or even just flying around, you'll just know you can use valleys to your advantage to be able to slot weapons through them. So it provides decent cover on both sides. I'm going to let our JTAC know that we are inbound from the southwest. Okay, sparkle means that the laser is on, so we can start looking for a target. Now I did mistake my direction of travel, it's from the south, but that's not a huge issue just because we are still flying over top of the area. So we're just looking for a laser mark. And we're going to abort because it's not looking like we'll get one. Aborting, no mark. And of course, because it's there it is right below us, disappeared on us, possibly due to the smoke was hiding it, but we're going to attempt another run-in again. So, we're going to be coming over his right shoulder, which will be over here. Inbound from the south. Alright, so we still got the laser target locked on. He hasn't called sparkle again, which means that the laser is still on, and he hasn't shut it off. So, we're going to get a little bit closer. Oh, he just turned it back on. But still got the target locked up, so we're going to keep going, get a little bit past these windmills just so that the bomb does not drop on top of him. And we're going to drop at 2 kilometers or less, 1.5, drop, pickle, and we're going to peel off to the right here. So this is just to let them know, pickle is also the brevity term, just to let them know that JTAC on the ground, that a bomb has been dropped. And I will wait for, see if the bomb did anything.
Good bomb, stay working 9 line Charlie.
After that, stand by. As a good thing to note, Arma does all the bomb corrections as soon as the weapon releases, not at terminal like it does in real life, or somewhat at terminal like what it does in real life. So you can use this somewhat to your advantage, or it can be a disadvantage depending on how you look at it. Grizzly 4-1, this is Ghost 1-1. Send 9 line Charlie 1 ready.
No mark, 1,000 meters.
Line 4, 124 meters. Line 6, 1805, 1089. How copy over?
Good reset. They were ready for market restriction.
Send it.
Requesting gun run on Thomas Hill 124. Tack heading north. Correction. Southeast to northwest. Over.
Roger that. Requesting gun run on top of hill 124, southeast to northwest. Alright, so from this point on, it will be up to us to get us set up again. So requesting from southeast, so it'll be over here. 124 is right here due to magic of Arma land. We're just going to mark it right up here and go from there. But just for realism's sake, for people who don't have Blue 4 tracker turned on, 1805 will be smack dab in the middle right there, and 1809 is just below it. So this is pretty spot on to where we're going to be doing our gun run from. The gun run procedures are the same thing. It's the same for rockets. You don't have to read a special thing. You can say guns, guns, guns whenever you're coming in. So. Alright, we're going to make a run in now. Inbound from the southeast. And I feel like I should note, whenever he's saying different types of control, that just determines what the JTAC can see. A Type 1 control means he can see you and the target. Type 2 means he can see the target or just or one or the other. You can see one of the two things, you or the target. And Type 3 is just by grid reference.
No hit. Requesting immediate re-attack. Bigger mark same restriction. 20 meters to the southwest.
Copy that, 20 meters to the southwest. So we just need to elongate that run in a little bit. And Type 3 is if he can see neither of you on the restricts or the type things that he reads out in the very beginning. Just so he can see. If he can't see anything, he's just going off of grid reference from memory or from information that's being fed to him remotely. So for instance, if you're a JTAC separated from another team element that needs ground support, he can be like a half a kilometer away, giving the pilot in the air an attack run-in heading and things of that nature. So getting set back up here again. Inbound from the southeast. Alright, so we're going to place our shots a little more on the lower side of the mountain just so we can attempt to get some more hits. Remember, you only have a limited amount of guns with an F-16, but if you're using something like the 810, you can spray and pray all you want. So just going to pepper the mountain gloriously.
Good guns, good guns.
Send it.
Delta as follows. Type 1, bomb on target, line 123, and in break. 9-6 meters, infantry patrol in the open. Grid 1-8-3-8-1-1-0-9er. Break. No mark, 1200 meters to the south, meters pound stretch for back line 4-6.
Line 4, 96 meters. Line 6, 18381109. How copy over?
Good reset, getting ready for market restriction.
Send it.
Request 1-5 jam on target. Attack heading southeast and northwest. Over.
Roger that. 1 by JDAM, southeast to northwest. Alright, so with the JDAMs, we're going to have to pull up our GPS targeting system. with that, Grizzly 4-1. No, only human, but on that little miscommunication with the radios, it happens. But try not to make too much note of it. So looking at our grid reference, so 138 or 1838, so about right here, and 1109. So the magic, we're just going to make sure we did this correctly. Yeah, so it'll be around here. So it looks like he's targeting this little mountain where the that cluster is. Note that you wouldn't know this if Blue Hawk Tracker was on, but the grid matches up. So we're going to set GPS target directly on top of here, close, and now we're going to loop back around as we fly off the map. And those of you who are using ACE, you'll know the darkening on the screen, that is G-forces. G-forces do affect you, as you're probably all aware. Try not to black out because you may or may not recover from that. It's iffy with certain aircraft. So we're going to be turning in momentarily and starting our attack run. Now JDAMs are useful because they do not require laser designation from a ground team. This is quite useful for Type 3 controls, wherever the JTAC cannot see the target. So this is a good use of this. So if you're, for instance, if you're a JTAC watching this video and you need to drop bombs that are behind a mountain, but you know where the location is via a sniper team that is not laser capable, JDAMs are a good choice of target, or dumb bombs or guns. But JDAMs give you that little bit more accuracy. So it's coming in as unknown as the lock. Got GPS target. We can drop it from here, but we're going to wait just a little bit and drop it so it doesn't have as much time to fall. And we're going to drop, pickle, and we're going to peel off to the right here. So as the mission develops, you'll kind of pick up on areas to hold that you know are safe. For instance, we know that the area to the south of our JTAC is generally a safe zone, so we can just hold out right down there and don't have to worry about getting shot up. And now we wait for bells. Yep, and looks like we hit our target. Send it.
1 by Stalker, 2 by Anta, 1 by Splycer, break. 4 by Orders, crossing the T-Squad, big 3 break. 1 sniper team, 1 patrol, all destroyed. To appear north out of my airspace, I have no further target break at this time.
Grizzly 4-1, this is Ghost 1-1 signing off. And at that point we are done and we can go back and land. That pretty much concludes this video. I'll be uploading it, well, of course it'll be uploaded shortly. But for those of you who have sticked around to the end, thanks for watching and have a good time.